Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Jazz Beyond the Dome. Myself, Marcus Joseph, and the man, the myth, legend that is Leicester's own Del Boy, Rob Charles.
Here we go, man.
And a very special guest today. Leicester's First Lady, Black Queen. Welcome. Miss Tara Munroe, how you doing?
Thank you. What a build-up.
Well, I try. You know?
I do feel honoured.
I do try.
Hey,
How are you, and how's life treating you?
I'm good. Life's been good. Life's okay. I'm getting through the madness at the moment. It's good. Yeah. Are we pleased to get things back to normal? You know, as soon as we can out of this lockdown stuff. But yeah, so far so good. Everything's ticking over. So.
And Rob Charles, how are you doing?
Well, I'm still, trying to negotiate and navigate the reset, which is the reset, which is the COVID pandemic. You know, but
you didn't go out for Freedom Day then?
Freedom Day.
What?
Freedom Day. What Freedom Day?
That was meant to be the 21st of June, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Oh,
you mean that? You mean
all right.
You mean access all areas? No.
Yeah.
All right, so their Freedom Day.
Yeah.
All
right, access all areas.
All right. So Kim and our Freedom Day.
No. I was watching the sun go down. Yeah, I'm saying, it was the longest day, wasn't it? It was something on the 21st.
I think it was, yeah.
Solstice, yeah.
Summer solstice.
Yeah, I had some vibes going on that. Ooh, you know what I mean?
Okay, so Tara, speak about your music. Yes, I hope to see In Love. Why that song?
Right, that was, when you're thinking about the tunes that first had a relevance in my life, right. I had to go back to what my mum played.
Okay.
And that was an album that just, I think for about 2 years was played on repeat in our house. So I just had to pick one tune off that album, which I picked Hopelessly in Love. But it was one of my mum's favourites. I probably know every word of that whole album, and it's going to stay with me for the rest of my life.
Okay, let's play that now then. Here it is. Lovely song.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell
Hopelessly in Love.
Let me tell you what that reminds me of. Just let me tell you what that reminds me of, man. You go into the blues party, you know what I'm saying? You're by the wall, you're hanging on to some sweaty crimpling, and the smell of Dax. You know what I mean? Sweaty crimpling blouse, and the smell of Dax, man, and you're in there. You know what I'm saying? Dax in the air. You know the Dax, the push.
I know the Dax. I remember Dax from back in the day. I used to have that.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That was like years ago, wasn't it?
You got it.
Way before my time.
Well, for me, I think when my mum was playing it at home, it was us just dancing around the front room. But when we think about parties, us kids were all upstairs when these were going on, and we'd come downstairs and see you lot all rubbing off the wallpaper, and then come down for a chicken or a drink or something.
What, who, me? Not me.
No, the older sets.
All right. Around then.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Oh, young then, Anyway.
I'm saying nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so speak about your organisation.
Okay, it's Opal 22 Arts and Edutainment. We've been open now for just over 5 years. I think we hit our 5 years. Wow. And it's gone from strength to strength. We do a number of things, including exhibitions, documentaries. We do music projects, spoken word projects, theatre projects. There's kind of a whole range of things that we've done. Predominantly those were before lockdown though. Since lockdown we've been doing a lot of online shows.
Yeah.
So we did the history of Carnival last year, and we also did a Windrush one last year. We did a Windrush one on Sunday as well, where we included Sandra Cross and Mad Professor, and we had Two Badar doing. So what we tried to do was a compilation of music where we'd ask them to pick their favourite riff, or a riff that they felt had gone through time.
Wow.
And then Too Bad kind of created something we had Stan Stanley and Adrian McKenzie and Meshach from Contrast, as well. So it was kind of a really interesting mixture to have those conversations, to understand what the music has done over the years, and to see Tubada actually create something that, he just changed the vibe of those tunes, which was really good. It was really fascinating to see what they come up with. It was a nice show.
Yeah, it was lively. Speak about Windrush.
What do you mean, the idea of Windrush?
Why is there like a need to celebrate it, do you think?
Oh wow. Well, do you know, I have mixed feelings with it, because I think we need to celebrate Black history as a starting point in this country, and we need to do it properly, because we need to stop thinking that Black history only started with the Windrush era,
right? Which
is how by them. I mean, the celebration of Windrush is a new thing that's really just come about, and that's really because of all the problems with the government and how they was treating the immigration problems.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's something that's been set up to kind of highlight the need for the schemes, the compensation schemes. But it is doing a great job at allowing us to showcase all the things that we have done in this country. So I think it is great at what it's doing, and it's a great starting point. But there does need to be more. There needs to be a clear understanding that we have a footprint in this country from prehistoric times, and it's shown, it's factual, and it's not that hard to trace. We didn't just arrive in 1949, and that's
right.
So
1948. Sorry.
Right. Go on.
I have a problem with it. I think the issues, what it's there for, and the issues that it deals with is very good. I have no problem with that at all. What I have a problem with is the label. We have to stop using colonial labels to characterize our footprint. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Windrush, as far as I'm concerned, is a colonial label. Why
would you say that?
It's because
because of the ship.
It's a ship. One, it's named after a boat, a ship. Right, that was originally built by the Nazis, then taken over by the British and used as a cargo ship. Right, but the thing is, the significance to me is that in terms of history and characterization, is in terms of the footprint, is that it's a boat. Empire Windrush, and we have a Windrush Day. We might as well go back to 1504 when they first built the ship, the good ship Jesus, and transported Africans to the Caribbean. You know what I mean? We don't need, why not have a good ship Jesus Day then? You know what I'm saying? We don't need those characterizations of this. We've got to get rid of that. It seems like there has to be some kind of validation from the other about our greatness and our achievements or whatever issues we have.
That's why I see the theme of that a lot.
To me, that is absolutely wrong. And I was dumbfounded one night. I didn't even know there was a Windrush Day until yesterday.
Me too. I found out last week, I think.
You know what I mean? Well, I must have been missing something. And we're named after a boat, Empire Windrush. And we're having a Windrush Day. No, man, there's something wrong with that.
I never thought of it like
terrible.
That. Yeah,
it's horrible. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, man. I see the irony in that as well.
Yeah, the irony. It's absolutely incredible. Like, I just don't. I don't get it. It's something we miss, and that is why I think it's imperatively important that we take on in Black consciousness critical race theory. It's so important, man. You know what I mean? It's so important. You know what I mean? But that's another issue. But we've got to take that on, man, because we've got to stop. We've got to stop colonializing our achievements, bro. You know what I mean? We've got to stop that.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Our thinking has to change. That is why things like woke and all that, terms like that, are weaponized against us. Where woke for me is empowering. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the most empowering words in my vocabulary is the word woke. You know what I'm saying? And they're using it against me, weaponizing it against me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. Let's do some music.
Yes.
I'm getting
on that note, Unity. Why that song?
Oh, well, this is my first kind of hip hop journey when we were kind of, as Leicester, there used to be a minibus of us that used to go to Northampton and London and wherever, but we used to go as a crew. And it was always in the minibus. I think it was SS that used to do it, and there'd be like a crew of us that was in there, and we'd see all the stars. We saw all the stars back then, but Queen Latifah was always a favourite of mine. I just always followed the females. I wanted that empowerment. I liked what they were telling me. I didn't really go for the I mean, I do like Foxy Brown, but what's the name? Kim.
Oh,
It should just think
Little Kim.
Wasn't really my favourite at all. And then she was later as well, to be fair. But for me, this tune just says everything about how I felt at that time about being a girl in hip hop, hanging around with all the guys, and just needing my footprint to be seen.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling that.
Lovely tune.
Yeah, man.
It's
needed, isn't it?
Number, you know, it's a tune I beg. Anyway, Tara, you know, your organisation is part funded by local government and stuff like that. What do you feel? How do you see funding for black arts actually going on the local level?
Locally or nationally, you said.
Well, local to begin with, because
speak about local.
Yeah, we're talking about local simply because I'm thinking personally, I'm not seeing not many funding for black arts, for funding of black people for black art, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It seems to be, apart from yours, which I know of, everything seems to be outside, seems to be going outside the community to come back in. You tell me the funding that is.
It's one of those things where, you know, funders will repeatedly go back to what they know. And those larger organisations, say like the Curve and the Phoenix and those kind of places, they have a great track record. So if they say they're doing something for, you know, that is inspiring black people to come into it, they're going to be the first one on the funding list. So the smaller organisations, I mean, you see me doing this, but I was freelance for a good kind of 10 years before I opened up my company it was. So I did my groundwork. I worked within those organizations where I got my name known for what I did and got my reputation for what I did and showed what I could do first off before going out on my own. And then you know, I was lucky enough to be able to get funding for myself. So when I opened up the company, I'd already done half my work. You know, I was already, already known by certain people, but there's lots of people out there with great talents and great ideas, but they just don't know who to approach to be able to do it. And a lot of time as me as an organization, I will get people that come to me and they've got great ideas and they want funding for it, but they want or need me to get that funding. Well, it's hard enough trying to get it for myself for the things that I need to do. So it's quite difficult to try and support everyone else at the same time. So I think for one of the things that have been coming up recently, we need more mentors in our community. We need more people that have achieved to do workshops, Oh,
that's a phone call.
Sorry, it's on my watch.
It's live.
So we need people that have achieved to actually come and give time back and give time, talk to the community, do workshops, do whatever, just to, just come and tell people how you made it. Because when you're looking at other communities, say white or the Asian communities, they support each other and they have these, these established committees or formats where people can go, or whether it's if it's your family, you've already got somebody within that business or whatsoever within your family. We, from a certain part, are starting from quite far down. We have to kind of build those networks. But what happens in our community is a lot of the time we get to a certain point and then we leave the community. That's got to stop. We've really got to start facilitating the community and making sure we strengthen where we came from instead of running from it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that answered the
Oh,
question.
yeah. We're talking about value, really, aren't we? We're talking about value and validation. We're talking about accreditation as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've got to accredit ourselves, and from we start accrediting ourselves, we start seeing the value in ourselves and the validity. You know what I mean? And all the merits that has, you know what I mean, of ourselves. I think that's what's missing, because we got the, you know, we've got the know. You know what I'm saying? We've got the know. We know how to we know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm of the opinion that we're greatly valued but not trusted. That's why when it comes to black arts in Leicester.
Well, I mean, I don't think. I mean, I'm probably shooting myself in the foot, but I think to a certain extent, I'm not even sure that we are valued. In some, you know, I said last year, with everything happening last year, and I had a few projects with certain departments, and they came to me because they knew that they couldn't achieve what I achieved.
Right.
But they came to me late, you know, because they hadn't done anything and they hadn't sorted out what they needed to do. They don't come to me with a proper payment package. I've sat in meetings where I've taken an idea to an organisation, and I'm having to get my own wages. I'm having to fund myself, but then I'm asking for somebody that works in their department or used to work in their department to say, oh, that would be great if they could come on board. Who's somebody that I worked with while I was there. And straight away, within minutes of me naming that person, they said, oh, right, we'll have to see how much he wants to get paid, how much he'll charge. I've been sat here and I've brought the whole meeting together. Nobody's asked me what they you know, what they can do to keep me supported. Yeah. I had to raise that point, and I still have to raise that point. So, yeah, I mean, even this year, it was something, and I've had to put in emails, look, this can't happen next year. If you want me to support you, if you want us to work together, you have to come to me at least 3 months before. You have to come to me with a budget. You have to treat me like you treat other organisations. Otherwise, I can't help, because I'm always going in like the little sister that, like, they come to me and I'll go, yeah, you know what? Because I you know, it's good for me, it's good for them, and I'll think, yeah, I can do it, and I'll try my best to support it. But they've really got to take some responsibility of treating us right.
Yeah. As well as leading the conversation as well as positively.
Well, that's something that I'm learning at the moment, because I've found just recently that, you know, as I say, I mean, it's a learning curve, because I have gone, okay, well, I know you can't do what I do.
Exactly.
And I know that you need my support on this. You need me as much as I need you. So now when I'm going into conversations and I'm sitting in certain things, I do kind of think, okay, at some points when things aren't going right, I have to think, right, I need to take control of this, and I need to kind of swivel this now. But it's a learning curve, because these are people that I worked for, and you know, they're bigger organisations than myself. So it's a real kind of like, come on, put your big girl pants on now. Yeah. And no, actually, this is how it's going to work. We're going to need this now. And I've only been able to do that because I've honed my craft, you know, so I have the experience and the confidence to do that now. But it's took a long time.
So I haven't heard this amount of positive discussion in arts for a very long time, by an arts person, shall I say, for a very long time. Absolutely fantastic, man. So shall we do another bit of music?
Yeah. Let's do another one. Yeah, so The Healer. Why The Healer? How can you pick one for your...
Right, you know, well, song? I love Erykah Badu. I couldn't have done this without putting an Erykah tune in, because she's my girl. But I like this tune because this tune shows my kind of eclectic, how can I say, choices. I like music that's just a little bit different. I mean, I love my hip hop. I love, you know, and it has to sound good. But I also love the orchestra behind it. I love when there's, you know, a full band, and, you know, I just like that. I grew up in a house. My granddad was a music guy, right, and he always had his headphones on. He always had the music on in the front room. before, after that, my uncles had sounds. We all went to the sound systems with them. There's always been music around for me. So I like a whole range of music. People come around my house and go, what are you listening to? I think, well, actually, I don't do rock and that kind of thing. I'd be quite, that's where I kind of draw the line.
Okay, that's where you draw the line at rock. Okay.
But,
Rock's a no-go.
And I think this kind of it kind of pulls lots of different ranges.
Live instruments as well. That's what I love. That's what I love to hear as well in music. So it is Healer.
Well,
Snow Allegra. I can't say her name. Snow Allegra. Yeah, I love that song there, man.
Well, we just had 10 minutes, 15 minutes of Tara vibe. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that is the Tara vibe.
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah.
Speak about those songs you chose there. Yeah.
All different reasons, I think, because you'd had the Erykah Badu, which we spoke about. The next one in there was Lauryn Hill, and I could have picked any one of that album. It's an album that has just stayed with me. It's when we still had CDs in the car, that album was with me right the way through, and was always in my car and just got played on repeat. So I know all the tunes on there, and I just had to pick one of those. With Snow Allegra, she's just got something, and it's
the harmonies, man.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, she's a new one for me, and I wanted to kind of show what I'm listening to now, which has that just like a little bit like a nicer flow. And hers, I think I've probably put her on my Spotify and just listened to everything that she's got, and it is all really melodic and just easy, and you don't get bored of it. You just want to just keep on listening. It doesn't matter if the same tune comes up again. It's cool. It just sits nicely with me. So
I'm going to bring you back to your genre preferences. I was very surprised when you went, I don't like rock. Look, just listen to
I say I don't like rock, but I used to work years ago. I used to work at a printers, and they were all rockers.
Yeah.
So I used to have it, when you did the night shift, that was just, and I did kind of get into some of it. So I can't say I don't like.
I can see where you might have gone wrong is because, you've got to listen to Jimi Hendrix and you're going to see where where rock went wrong.
Yeah.
Because Jimi Hendrix was right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And also listen to Lenny Kravitz and Prince.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They take you back to where rock should have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And is. Yeah, I'm saying, well, and Jimi Hendrix still takes you into the future, but there you go.
And I think that's where I was saying about, that eclecticness of music.
Yeah, your eclectic verve. I think the word verve, that's what your verve is.
Quite happy to kind of, if you can mingle it in with a nice beat and a B line, then I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Speak about your daughter. Morgan Munroe, Leicester's own.
Yes. Well, I speak about one, but I do have two. So I kind of always feel like I need to, because they are twins and there are two of them, but one kind of went into property and Morgan is the singer. So Morgan Munroe is just an amazing songstress at the moment. She writes all her own tunes. She writes all her own lyrics. She's actually got kind of commanding studios at the minute. She knows how to make, she's learned how to do. I mean, I'm talking off the top of my head here because I don't know.
I've seen the growth.
But yeah, she can actually go in there and do. I think the only thing she can't do now is mastering. Right. So she's really learnt her craft from inside out. She's amazing on stage. I can't be prouder. She makes me smile. It's nice to see the growth. It's nice to see her confidence. It's nice to see other people actually seeing how amazing she is, because as a singer, you can't fault her voice, her notes she can reach and the heights she goes with her voice, which I like to think that she got from me.
Where's that from? Right. Like, where's that coming from?
I have to give 50-50 because her grandfather on her dad's side was a singer, and he sung all the way through Singapore and all those kind of places when he was in the army, and he was amazing. But I truly believe she only hits certain notes that she does because my voice is so squeaky. Because she gets it from that high notes.
I see the logic in that,
Yes, see? Now, because they are the only notes I can hit.
Right. Yeah, Rob, not to.
Not
Rob's
from being
face not convinced.
not from being chastised. So we had to scream at her, and it was high.
Yeah, they're the only notes I can hit. Seriously, you know when she's going, when she's singing, and I hit the notes, and she goes, "Well, Mom, you can do it," and I'm like,
Wow.
"Yeah, but they're the only ones I can get. I can't do the rest of them. Like you go from high to low. No. I can just do them ones right up there. You leave me there, and I'm good."
Is there a direct link on the social media to Morgan that people could?
There is. She is
Tap into.
Morgan Munroe official on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I think Morgan Munroe. If you go to Morgan Munroe, you will find her on all social media. She has a Spotify account as well. So hit her up. She's amazing. What can I say?
Definitely. And I was going to ask you is Leicester, like, why is it unique, do you think? Or I suppose, what makes Leicester unique to you?
Ooh, to me, it's home. Weirdly enough, yeah. Because I didn't come till late. So, I came here when I was 12, something like that. And even though I have very, very strong links to Luton, this is home.
You see this as home.
But I think it's the diversity of Leicester that really makes me love the place, because especially coming from Luton and being, the pale one of the family, because I'm from a Caribbean family, but I'm the lightest one. And I know coming from the south, where it was predominantly you were either black or you were white, there was always those questions, oh, but what are you? What are you? Why do you look like that? And the rest of them look like that. When I came here, because there was so much of a mixture of people and everybody was all kind of mixed and blended together, those questions stopped. Nobody cared what I was, who I was, which it was breathtaking when I first, as a child, because I didn't have to explain myself. I didn't have to explain who my parents were or whatsoever. Kind of leading on from it, and these days I kind of think, because you just, people have an assumption of who you are because they just expect me to have a white mum and a black dad, so they have an expectation of who I am and what I'm about, which is very different to who I am, really. So I don't know whether it's a bad thing or a good thing, but it just, what to me once was amazing, that people stopped asking me what I was and just let me be. Now I kind of think, actually, I think I'd prefer you to ask.
All right, okay. I just want people to ask that question. Okay. Well, and what's next for your organisation then?
Well, we have a big national project coming up over the next couple of months. It's going to be a 2-year project. It's in partnership with Newark Museum. Okay. Basically, when I worked there, I found some paintings that were ready to be disposed of. And I asked if I could do some research for them, because what I found in them was really interesting. They were images, 18th century images or paintings of mixed race families.
Okay.
I'd never seen anything like this before. They weren't slave and master. There wasn't anything like, these were family. This was father, mother and child. When I started doing the research on them, I found that they were the first form of racial classifications that was done in pictorial forms. And they had relevance on how people could live in the New World, with this colonial background on it. So they documented people's racial identities. So you went from, if you were black mother, white father, you were a Melito. And then, you went down and further down and whatsoever. Somebody like me, because I've got everything from the Caribbean, I've got everything in me, would have been something that you just throw in the air and you didn't really know what it was. So that was what they termed you as. And then
where's this based? What, is this here in the UK or is this like...
What do you mean, based?
Yeah.
Where did it start?
Yeah.
It started in Mexico, because Mexico was kind of the biggest trading point at the beginning, for colonization and throughout the slave trade.
Right.
It was the point where, you went from Africa to the Caribbean or wherever, but that was the place where all the trading happened in Mexico. So there was a lot of money out there. there's a lot to research around them, but one of the things that I'm finding quite interesting, and I think has a lot of relevance into it, is the reasons why they were produced. Because initially they say, the surface level, they say that they were sent to the king to show them that the relationships that they were having out there were being legitimized because they were Catholics. So they were legitimizing these relationships by marrying these women and then showing that you could get rid of the Indian race within three children, and it'd be 5 if it was black.
Wow. Okay.
So there were 16 of these paintings that they did. For me, there seems to be something just a little bit more sinister in that as they moved over. And I might be just taking it from my own perspective, but the more mixed you were, the more negative connotations that they put on them. So the more violent you were, the more mad you were. They had all these kind of things on them. And it's as if, how we kind of look at those ones that can pass, we call passing, that they kind of can slip under the radar and people will think a bit like Morgan. As white, yeah. It's as if they had to kind of keep those people in their place.
Right.
So, they got too close to being able to jump over that thing. So you had to put all kinds of negative terminologies around them to make sure people know you keep those in that set. They don't cross over. Don't cross over. You have to keep those. So there's a lot of interest in there. So what we'll be doing is actually getting them restored. They're in a bad state at the moment. So the museum are taking charge of having them restored. And then we're going to do a project around them, another community project like we did for Knowledge of the Unseen. Yeah. And it's really about looking at the history behind the paintings, but then understanding who we are now, because that's the first colour bar. That's the reason, most of the negative experiences that we have in this country, America and abroad, are different for me than they are going to be for you, and that is because of these negative pictorial forms of identifications that they put on people from a very early stage to say you're better than them because you are this, that, or the other. Yeah. So there's a lot to unpack in them. And it's going to be I'm really excited about it. I want to get some people involved. I'd love to get David Olasaga over and, some really great people to come and actually look at them and be part of it. We're going to be doing a documentary. We've got the big exhibition. Well, the exhibition won't be till August 2023, but we've got the main space upstairs in the museum. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be good.
All right, but the paintings you found here in Leicester Museum, New Walk Museum.
That's right.
Interesting, that.
Yeah.
Very, very much. I like the way you framed it as well. You framed it a lot more politely than I would have. But anyway, go on.
What are you talking about?
Hey? No, the categorizations of the mixes in that. So-called mixes. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Speak about your views on the OBEs and the MBEs and all these
I was just
out there.
I was just reading about this the other day, and my big surprise is David Olasaga.
That's what I was about to say next.
Yeah.
It was like
massive,
he's
massive,
actually seeing
it's just
with his own eyes. I don't
get
understand
it.
that.
I don't get it. And this kind of thing that's saying
mind-boggling.
You've got to be in it to win it. If we don't take, I just don't. From when it's got Empire on the end, like you were saying about the boat, I'm not interested. I don't want any kind of, I'm seeing people collecting them, and the people, that and you're just like,
exactly. But you
fought against
you
this
fought
all the
against
way
it for
through,
years.
And now you're just kind of going,
and you've seen it with your own eyes,
cheers,
and you're like, okay, well, I'm in the system, so you know what?
Well, it's more sinister than that.
What's your thoughts?
For me, right? To validate our greatness, we have to bow to the people, to the oppressor.
Sickening.
It's
I don't
wrong.
get it.
It makes no sense.
Boy, our ancestors are turning. You know what I'm saying? For us after what we've been through, we have to go and bow. Yeah, you got to bow. You're great, are you? Well, you're still gonna have to
in the mic, Rob. In the mic, Rob.
You're great, are you? You're still gonna have to bow to me
it's one of those
for
things
your validation.
You stole that from me.
And
exactly.
Now you want me to bow for you to hand it back to me. No.
And also, it puts them people, black people and stuff, into the same club as people like George Arthur who committed genocide where is it, in the of indigenous people in the Australias. You know what I'm saying? He totally, he got an award. He got a gong for the genocidal bloody killing of Tasmanians. He left one. He left one woman. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? And he got his gong for that.
Yeah.
You know, people got gongs for
many people.
You know, for overseeing massacres in the South Africas. You know what I mean? In the East Africa, in West Africa.
Christopher Columbus,
you know what I mean?
is, you know.
That's the club you're joining, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But it's MBE, OBE, Night, Garter, and all that. I was going to say something there. You know what I mean? Beginning with a B.
That's
okay,
Rob. Well done for holding back.
But you know that for me is where it's all wrong. And then you've got a historian such as my friend
David Alasaga.
Accepted.
Love his documentaries. I've learned so much from it.
Oh God,
I was like, oh my God, yeah.
The contradictions, man. The hypocrisy in it all.
He's accepted it gone.
Yeah, that was a
it's
shocker.
crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah. But people, as I said, people like to be,
I always think when it comes down to it, actions always speak louder than words.
Yeah.
And I think
we've got to validate ourselves, accredit ourselves.
As much as, and it is one of those things with, I mean, I love David Alasaga, don't get it twisted, and I do love, but he comes from a middle class background, and you've got Afia Hurst as well, same kind of thing, from middle class backgrounds. They have that enrooted, as much as they want to kind of, they're following that path that they want to know about their Black history. Right. They still come from a climate of, a class climate. When you're looking at, Benjamin Zephaniah, Akala, those kind of people, they're going to stand fast with how what they believe in, because that's the arena that they've come from. So I think there's a difference. It's that class system, and people like Afia Hurst and David Alasaga, although appeal to us, they also appeal to those the middle class sets as well. They talk in a language that they can understand.
Educated.
Yeah, whereas the Akalas of the world and the Benjamin Zephaniahs of the world speak to a totally different audience. So kind of I feel that has something to do with it.
It's for me, in a nutshell here, it's the miseducation of the scholar. That's what it is.
Miseducation of everyone.
It's the miseducation of the scholar. That's what it is.
End it right there.
Is that right?
Yes, that's it. That's the time. Many thanks for coming in, Tara. Really appreciate your time.
No problem.
Lovely to chat with you.
No, it's been great.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Absolutely. And your vibe is too much. Yeah, your vibe is too much.
Yeah, so same time next week. Jazz Beyond the Dome. Myself, Marcus Joseph, and Rob Charles. And always stay black.
Yes.
Yes, Rob.
Yes.
I'll see you next week, guys.
Accredit yourself.